Good morning.
Hello.
Welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Ian.
And I'm Lauren.
And this is the morning routine. Live on Sundays at 8 a.m. We'll play with our body weight, stay strong, and get flexible. But first, we'll start with the breath and a visit to the theme park. For those of you who know, that's head, neck, and rib rotations here. First, though, the breath. Hand belly, hand chest. Get your situation and set up just right. With the hand on the belly, take a light 4-second breath in, pulling the belly away from the spine. On your exhale, pull back in. Repeat one more effort. Fill it, expand the belly, breathe in, and exhale, pulling that belly back in. Next is the chest. Take a slow breath in, feel the rib cage fill, and a slow exhale. And that hand on the belly button shouldn't be feeling too much movement. One more time. Chest breath in. Slow exhale. Let's repeat to the belly. A breath in. Hold for 4 seconds full. Exhale for slow 4 seconds. And empty, also holding for 4. Next, it's into the chest. Breath in. Fill 4 seconds on the inhale, followed by 4 seconds of a hold. Then exhale. Repeat one last time. Breath into the belly. Expand. Breath out, pull the belly button back in. Now breath into the chest. Exhale. And resume the breathing. Next at the head neck. We'll start with the Ferris wheel at the theme park here, which could include moving over this way to the left, that way towards the right, and then also the front or text neck posture and the chin tuck out the back. Now let's connect all those 4 points, starting with an ear slide or head slide to the right. From the right, reach towards the front or midnight on the clock, and then to the side, lateral left. Carve out the space around the back with that chin tuck in. Return to the original side, the right here, and then return center. Switch your direction as you could slide towards the left. Small shapes are great here. And then this time it's clockwise from 9 to 12 to 3 on the clock face. Then the chin in, circle around the back. Changes your voice a little. Ear to the left side, and then return to center. Modify your stance a little wider and repeat that same effort through the rib cage. Slide left, return center. Slide right, a little tighter for me, return center. Press the sternum forward, return, and then with the shoulder blades together, round through the back. That's a small range. Then extend. Let's connect those dots. First, it's a slide to the right. Then a press to the forward shape at midnight. Then from front towards left or 9, and then carving out those spaces around the back, returning to the original lateral position, and then to center. Switch your direction as you could slide left, and then this time we do that clockwise pursuit from 9 to 12 to 3. Pull with those abs, rounding through the spine, returning to side lateral, and then back to center. Shaking that out. One more time on the theme park, this time from the merry-go-round or the clock on the circle. Now it's the Ferris wheel or the clock on the wall. If we slide that head right, could we then pull the chin down and end up to the left? Then up and over without lifting the traps, return to that original side and center. Then slide the other way, that's to my left. Then up and over, small ranges are great. Then pull the jaw or the chin to the clavicle, sliding to the other side, and then reset center. Final movement for me here, and then we'll give it to Lauren, is through the rib cage, the same effort. Here, I'll choose sliding to the right, let's keep it the same. And from the right, pull the rib cage onto the hips, slide across, and without elevating the shoulders, return the rib cage to that original side. And then center to reset. Switch our direction. Here we'll go to the left. Let's go up and over, pull through those abs, back down through center to the original side, and then reset in the middle. Add the wiggle, stability through the hips, mobility through that T-spine. Let's take it over with some more hips. Oh, feet first. Nice.
Excellent. So we don't need our chair yet, but we'll have our feet with us. With our feet underneath us, let's gently almost think about dragging your foot back behind you. And as you do that, that should allow that heel to peel off the floor with tension. Get to that demi point and then gently press the heel into the floor as you push your hips forward. Try the same thing on the other side. Pull your foot so that the heel peels off the floor and then gently press the heel down, extending that hip forward. Same thing again. Pull to drive that heel off the floor to the demi point. Then we'll get to our big toe point. We'll gently roll over those toes. With those rolled over toes, could we let the ankle wing out? And then pull it to center. And then allow the ankle to wing in a bit. Pull it to center. Back to the toe point, the demi point. The heel connects as the hip extends. Other side. Pulling to peel that heel off the floor. Then pointing the toes to the big toe point, letting the toes flex over, and from center, allow the foot to wing out, pull it back in, allow the foot to wing in, bring it back to center, go to toe point, follow the foot down, heel connects, hip extends. Gently from there, let's press our knees towards over toes, warming up those ankles a little bit, do a little toot with the hips, and then drive into the floor, extending the hips forward, squeezing the glutes. Let's repeat that one more time. Pulling down. This time we're gonna press the floor away and we're gonna take 5 seconds to rise. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it for about 5 seconds. Pulling those kneecaps up, squeezing the glutes, bracing the core. Now let's descend for 5, 4, 3, 2, and soft landing. Nice. As much as we want tension in those ankles, can you shake them out to be floppy fish?
Floppy.
Nice. From there, we'll have our box or our ottoman or our chair, whatever
or a
might be.
Low step.
Low step, whatever is available to you. We'll start standing square to our box. We'll bend a single knee. We'll pull the knee through hip flexion, extending the leg and placing it down. You can also have a nice balance aid off to the side, just so balance isn't part of this. From here, let's first hike that hip up and then gently pull it down. Repeat again. Hike the hip up and then pull it down. Now let's think about tipping the tailbone towards the ceiling and then tucking the tailbone under. And again, tilt the tail to the ceiling. Let's stay in this anterior tilt a little bit. Pull the foot towards the shin. Keep that tailbone tilted long behind you and gently think about hinging on the hips or pushing those hips back as you allow a little bit of that forward posture. Then from there, let's push the hip forward to extend, holding for a second, feeling that kind of stretch opening on the front of the other hip as that back cheek is squeezed. We'll drag the leg off the step, bring it back underneath us to parallel, and gently straighten the leg to extend. Same thing other side. Knee bends, pull that, watch walls.
Close to the wall.
Pull that leg up and gently place it down on this. Maybe you have one leg that's longer than the other by a foot here. And then
Mine
from
foot
there,
hit too. I had to break form though.
From there, we have that dorsiflex foot and our hips. Gently hiking that hip first and then pulling it down. And again, hike that hip again and pull it down. This time we're thinking about the tailbone tilting towards the ceiling behind us and then scooping under, tucking that back butt cheek. One last time, tilt the tailbone long. With that nice long tailbone, we're maybe pushing those hips back, a light hinge on the hips, feeling that length through the hamstring from behind the knee, but all the way up into that insertion or origin point on the bottom or the femur or your bottom. Then from here, we'll stand back up to tall. We'll pull that leg off, brushing it back behind us to parallel, and then gently straightening and extending. Maybe you move a little bit closer to that step. but we're gonna do one more thing from here. Let's go back to the first leg, bending the knee, pulling it up, and letting it rest on the step here. From this position, let's level those hips. So one hike, one pull down, one tailbone tilt to the back wall, one scoop under. Let's stay in this tucked under position. So our back butt cheek is squeezed of the straight leg. We're square forward. We're gonna push down on the step and pull that step towards us without moving. So you're driving down and kind of pulling in that leg as you extend that back hip. Now relax, but stay. Let's do that one more time. Push it down and pull the femur into the socket as you push this leg forward. You should feel some lights going on here. For 3, 2, easy off. Let's regather by tucking that back hip. Now this time you're gonna pretend, don't actually, lift this foot up off the box. Lift, keep extending the back hip. 3, 2, easy, relax. And one last time, tuck, gather tension, fake lift off. Try so hard to lift this leg, but don't. For 4, 3, 2, now actually lift it. Bend it, brushing it back behind you, and straighten that knee. Same routine, other side. Yeah, a little shake in between. Bending the knee, flicking the floor, pulling it up through to that hip flexion, and finding that step. From here, we hiked to the hip once, and then we pulled it down to level. We tilted the tail to the wall behind us, and then we tucked the tailbone under, squeezing that back cheek and feeling some work through the front of that hip. From here, first thing we did was we pushed down and pulled that. See, so much pull, you might pull your chair over.
That means I wasn't pushing down though either.
Right, so do both. Extending that back hip for 3, 2, and then easy off. Again, tuck under, squeeze that back cheek, straighten that bottom leg, push down and pull. Nothing's really moving, but you're isometrically contracting those muscles. For 3, 2, easy off. One more time, tuck that back hip. This time, fake lift off. Fake lift off. It's pulling in to lift up. For 3, 2, relax a little. Gather by squeezing and straightening. And one last time, it's in, fake lift off for 4, 3, 2, actual lift off. Knee stays bent as it brushes back and straightens underneath. Shake it out.
Shaking. We're gonna keep those balance aids at our side. So Lauren will use the chair and I'll use that bar on the wall. Use the balance aid now to really heighten the awareness of the rotations in through the hip. From here, we'll have that foot to shin shape or that karate foot and place a heel strike somewhere very close to that big toe in front. Keeping the hips forward, head forward, shoulders forward, turn out in the hip so that inseam faces forward. Then internally rotate as to hide. As we're approaching the midline here on my outside leg, keep that standing hip pushing, pressing forward. Repeat the external rotation or the turn out to show that inseam to face front. And then one last effort to pull back towards center. Keep that standing leg hip active. One last half rep as we turn out. From there, bring that leg towards the side. Did our whole body turn with it? Or again, were we able to keep the hips, shoulders, and head facing forward? We're turned out. So from this position, let's turn in and minimize the effort of the foot. So keep the hip forward, turn in on that outside leg, and slow with control, do the turn out. Push the hips forward 1% extra. Use your balance aid. Nice and effortless here, working. I don't know, I just saw the intense face here on Lauren out to the side. So we're rotating in. Let's rotate out one more time, but then we'll finish back in. Rotate in for the last effort. Now from here, bring that leg out the side towards the back. Could you get your big toe to touch your heel? Then are your hips tucked under? And then pull the leg through. We'll switch sides here. Lauren will expand those hip rotations from all fours in a moment. And until then, back to this straight leg rotation in the hip. Oh.
That's okay, that's okay.
We're all right?
Yeah,
okay.
Just a little backwards.
So a heel strike to the front, small stride is preferred. Keep the hips pressing forward and do our turn out in that outside leg with a straight leg at the knee, and then our turn in. Minimize the action at the foot. Try to look ahead, but definitely looking down might help. Again, we'll turn out. Keep that standing leg active, pressing forward and squeezing at the glutes, and then roll in on the hip. Keep this hip pushing forward as we turn in on the outside leg. Last rep here is the turn out. We'll utilize that turn out to help bring our leg to the side. And again, are the hips forward, shoulders forward, along with that head. Then we'll turn in, stiffen the knee, turn in on the hip, push forward. Turn out, nice end, control always, and then the turn in. We'll do one more turn out to complete those even sets of reps, but then we'll utilize that turn in on the hip as we then try to find the back heel with that straight leg. Then pull underneath. Add a little shake. From here, we'll get to the floor, a little bit of our wrists first. We warm up those feet. We'll be on our hands just a little bit going forward. So anyhow, there's no rules. Let's get down, fingertips to the floor, callus lines next, full hands, all four stance. From here, we'll do the turning of the palm up. So I'll start with my right hand. I'll roll over my pinky side of the hand as to turn my palm up. From here, I'll spin the fingers to the middle. And then when I connect to that thumb side, I'll roll over the thumb and then push the fingers to face lateral. From there, it's the reverse. We'll go over the thumb first so that the palm turns up, then spin the fingers around, and then when the pinky faces forward, roll back over that pinky. Same effort on the other side. Low efforts again to turn over the palm, spin the fingers towards the midline, and then roll over the thumb, pushing away through the thumb at the floor. Then over the thumb side, the hand turns up, spin the fingers towards the middle, and then push through the pinky side and back. One last time each side. Palm turns up on right, fingers spin towards the middle. They articulate to the side and then push through the thumb, opening up that hand. And to reverse, it's over the thumb. Then the spin. Your body might have to move some places to accommodate that. And for the last time, over the pinky, spin on the back of the hand, over the thumb pushing through, and then to reverse over the thumb. Fingers spin middle, push through the pinky, and back to those hands. Let's press the floor away, assemble in our lunge, and check out the levelness in those hips and all those cues that Lauren gave from this standing warm-up. Next though, we'll take that leg towards the side, so whether it points to 11, 10, or maybe at 9, take the hand across the chest, the same arm as leg combo to the lateral side here across the chest. At the head neck, do our chin tuck that the crown gets high, and then add our rotation looking towards the knee. Follow that rotation with the rotation through the rib cage. Square so that the sternum may face the same direction as that knee, and then return the head to center, and then the upper body to center. Repeat, chin tuck, rotation. When the head is safely out of room, stabilize it that the gaze doesn't change, but that rib cage is allowed to catch up. Return your head to center, return the rotation through the rib cage, and the last one on this side. Chin tuck, rotation, head it. Then rotation through the rib cage. Let's take a big breath in here. And on your exhale, look forward, and then let the rib cage catch up. Wiggle that leg to the front. Make this pursuit as safe, challenging as you can, as Lauren just took that leg out front and pull it underneath. Switching to the other side. Check your lunge, level through hips, and then wiggle the leg to the side. From there, the same hand as leg facing lateral across the chest. And at the head neck, do our chin tuck, and then the rotation towards the leg at the side. From here, it's that rotation through the rib cage where the sternum aims to catch up with the direction of the knee. And then return head to center, rotation through the rib cage. Keep this back hip extended as you tuck your chin and rotate again, and then the rib cage to follow. Next, straight ahead look, rotation through the ribs. Final effort here, chin tuck, rotation head neck. Then follow that with a rotation through the rib cage. Take a breath in. Exhale and look center or forward and the rib cage to follow. Take the leg lateral to the front, slide it underneath, and from here we have the hip bars.
Yes,
I think.
but from all fours.
Yeah.
So let's watch first. I'll show you them each direction, and then we'll do them at a nice slow pace. I'm going to do them faster than we are going to do them together. First time, we'll bend a single leg. We'll kick up to the ceiling in that hip extension, and then we're going to open the leg around to the side, bringing the knee towards the elbow, keeping the tailbone nice and long as you come through hip flexion, knee rests. The reverse direction will be hip flex, tailbone stay long, lifting out to the side, continuing to draw that circle around to the back and pulling back underneath. So let's come on down with those hands underneath the shoulders and those toes tucked, knees underneath hips. Gripping the floor with your fingers, shoulders packed, nice straight elbows this whole time. There'll be lots to think about, but keep those elbows straight. On one side, bend the knee without even lifting the knee off the floor. Get the ankle close to the bum. Now slowly, keeping the core brace, kick towards the ceiling. At this point, let's hold for a couple seconds so your elbows still straight and your hips square to the floor. Now from here, we'll open that leg to the side towards the fire hydrant position and hold in that fire hydrant position. Leg is right beside you, tailbone's long. Now we'll continue to draw that circle. Knee comes towards the elbow. Make sure the tailbone's tilted towards the ceiling. And we'll pause here in hip flexion, which is knee towards the chest. Holding for 3, 2. Let's brush to parallel and then reverse it. Knee is going to come to hip flexion first or towards the chest. Tailbone stays long. Now lift the leg out to the side. From here, ankle will lift. Knee will continue to draw that circle all the way around to the back, kicking the ceiling, squaring up to the floor, and then pulling, keeping that knee bent, returning the knee to the ground, and relaxed. Take a second off, shake those wrists out, and we'll perform the same routine.
You weren't kidding when you said you were going to do it a lot slower than you were doing it.
That's right.
Holy.
That's right. So hands are down again, shoulders packed, elbows nice and straight, toes tucked, knees under hips. Same thing, other side. So bend that knee first, ankle close to bum, knee doesn't even come off the floor yet. Then keep that knee bent and start kicking the ceiling. In that hip extension position, stay square to the floor. 3, 2. From here, open it up towards that fire hydrant position. Again, make sure those hips are square. If there's a bowl of water on your back, it doesn't spill. Hold. 3, 2. Continue pulling around, knee towards elbow into hip flexion. Tailbone stays long. Hold. 3, 2. Brushing to parallel legs, reversing the direction. Hip flexion first, knee towards chest, tailbone stays long. 3, 2. Lifting the leg out to the side. And then around the back of that circle, the ankle is going to lift, the knee is going to draw a circle out to the back. Hold in hip extension, square up, brace the core. Keep the knee bent as you pull the leg back underneath to parallel. Point your toes out the back and just sit back on those toes, shaking out those wrists for a couple seconds. Shoulders, Ian.
Shoulders. Sometimes when you face down on the ground, it's a little bit hard to follow along. So just watch this for a quick moment, and then Lauren will cue me through the same effort. Chin tuck, maybe get that pillow out, neutral place for the head neck. Then turn your palms to face the floor. With the fingers open, heavy on the ground, attention to the shoulder blades. Right now, your shoulders are more likely rounded forward into the ground. Stiffen the elbows and retract back together. Right on. From here, you just want to make sure again that low back is feeling safe and strong with a slight tuck under or to activate your core. Relax the effort slowly, returning the fronts of the shoulders to the floor. It might be a little bit jumpy. Take your time to do that. Next, we'll retract those shoulders with stiff elbows, pulling together. Then lift the hands away from the floor. Keep the shoulder blades intact. out of those ears, strong and stable. Now from this position, we'll take 5 seconds to return the hands to the ground. Maintain the stability or the position of the shoulder blades. Slowly then, relax the shoulder blades. Take a breath when you're off, and we'll repeat that one more time. Initiate from the center out, so we have shoulder blades that retract, stabilizing through the shoulders. Then stiff elbows, lift away from the ground. Excellent. And hold. About 5 seconds for today. So then 5 seconds as well to slowly lower the hands to the ground. Keeping the shoulder blades stable. They don't move. Lauren's doing really well here. And then slowly coast the effort away to relax the shoulders. Maybe you followed that as you were doing that, as I was doing that with Lauren. Ooh, that was a little awkward. And if you did, and your triceps are fine, be careful on those triceps. Let's do that one more time as Lauren cues me through the same movement.
So lying prone, looking down with that neutral spine, arms extended at your side, palms down. From here, let's first tuck those hips under, bracing the core. Then we'll retract the blades off the floor like you're pinching them together. And then with straight elbows, slowly lift those hands up off the floor into shoulder extension. Holding for 3, 2. Now keep the shoulders together where they are, but slowly let the hands find the floor. Once the hands find the floor, slowly ease off, letting the shoulders relax. Good. Repeating again. From the relaxed state, our blades pinch together into retraction. Nice. And then, keeping the elbows nice and straight and the core brace, we lift those shoulders up off the floor. Not our head, not our upper body, just the arms for 3, 2. Then slowly hands find the floor, keeping the shoulders in that retracted position. Once the hands find the floor now, easy off on the shoulders. And relax. Good. From here, we'll place our hands on the floor. We'll tuck our toes. We'll start on all fours. Tuck our toes. Let's gently again tip that tailbone long towards the ceiling. Hover the knees off the floor, keeping the long tailbone, and then slowly lift the hips towards the ceiling, towards your down dog. But prioritize that long spine through your low back. Tailbone's tipping long. You're breathing as you slowly press your heels towards the floor. From here, we'll bend or soften the knees, come back to that bear hover position. Gently tilt the tail towards the ceiling again. Lift the hips up, keeping the tailbone long. Take a breath here as you press the heels towards the floor. And then this time we'll walk our hands towards our feet, pushing our hips back through our hinge and extending all the way to tall.
There's that wall again, getting in the way today.
Wall again.
For our last movement today, we'll just explore the Shiko squat for balance, for strength, and a little bit of fun to finish. Lauren's already in that sumo stance squat, so just a slightly wider squat stance than you would maybe with that goblet. Excuse me. We'll pull ourselves down in our first squat plie here, and just slide and glide from side to side, pulling on the floor and pushing through center. Keep those hips forward versus that hinge, and one more time each side. Pull and push through the ground, connecting the feet to the floor. One more time, pull center, push out to stand up. Shake it out. Take a breath. Change your stance if you wish, and we'll add on with a little bit of the weight transfer balance elements. Pull down, feel those adductors work. Pull, push to one side. Pull to the other, and this time, balance. Hold for a second, point, and land. Press through the ground, finding the balance this time. Then point and down. Again, find the ankle, hold that stability, point and down. Could we climb that leg? Finding the knee, and for now, let's keep those hips level, and then point and land toe ball heel, switching sides. Climb the leg for this moment, let's keep those hips level, and then point and down. A couple more reps here. Now we'll break some rules. Hips level for as long as possible, but then feel free to explore space. Awesome. When I was a green trainer, still learning all the time. I used to call this move the spaceman way back because there was a football player and he used to do that similar move after every touchdown. And he called it the spaceman. So I used to call it the spaceman, but now it's the Chico. So we have 1 or 2 more reps here. Inspiration is everywhere. Let's go, Lauren. One more time each side, maybe. Oh, just me?
You said 1 or 2 more. I was
me?
even.
Just me? Last one. Whew. Okay, wonderful. Work on those Chico squats. When it's had enough, you've had enough. A half hour is hopefully just enough to get you started on your Sunday with strength and mobility and fun. Like that.
Nice. Join us. Check out the weekly link letter coming to you on Monday. As per usual, your guide to the week's activities. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's because you're not a member and you should be. barsandbells.com/membership. Until next time, take care, stay strong, and we'll see you soon.
Have a great day.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.